My name is Chelsea Lyons Kent, and it's November 2nd in Standing Rock, North Dakota. I have been here for 2 months now, and I've never had a day like today. So, last night, since they, recently blocked off the bridge and nobody can get out through that end of camp, they've been blocked off from, the tribe has been blocked off from one of their ancestral burial sites. So they were trying to think of another way to cross, so they built this bridge, and we were out there with them last night, and it was really beautiful. They were talking about how they had 10 chiefs who were buried up there, and they just wanted to be able to get up there and pray, and they were building this makeshift bridge out of logs, and it was so very much, the old ways of doing things, and just a really beautiful display of what, they're capable of, and it was wonderful. And they were gonna open it up when the bridge was completed. They were going to open it up and have a ceremony and try to form a circle at the top around the burial grounds to pray in the morning. So we all got up to go to this prayer. It's a little bit down from camp near the river, and we were met with at least 100 of the riot cops who tore the bridge apart. And they came in also on boats, so they had this line like across from us, across from the water, and we couldn't cross because the bridge was gone. There's at least like 200 of us, and then they came in with these boats. They had 2 boats. They had about 8 people each, and about half of the bridge was still kind of floating, and there was 6 of the other protectors on the bridge. And the boats came, and they just started firing rubber bullets at random at the people on the bridge, at the people on the crowd. They started macing the men who were on the bridge just for being on it. And this is on Army Corps land that we are allowed to be on. They're telling us that we're not allowed to be on it, but we are allowed to be on it. But they're actively protecting this pipeline, and they're afraid that we're going to come across and impede construction or something, because they only have half a mile left, and they're doing everything they can to finish immediately. And so then they still have their line like across from us, and people started to go into this freezing water, and they formed a line, and everybody was holding hands, and they were singing at the officers and keeping the peace. It was so peaceful. It was such a beautiful display of solidarity. And I decided I was going to go in there with them. I just, they were like pulling people in and out because it was so cold that nobody could stay in there for long. And they kind of got to this point where they were asking people like, who wants to go now? Who wants to fill in for one of the people in there who's cold? And nobody at the moment was doing it. A lot of people had volunteered. I'm not saying that, nobody had volunteered, but at that moment there wasn't. And so I did. So I went in the water with them, and we were just kind of holding each other and trying to stay warm. And it was really, really cold, and you couldn't feel your feet, but everybody's still there and wrapped in those foil things, just trying to stick it out as long as we can, and taking turns. And then the riot cops maced all of us, everyone. They just took out these huge canisters that looked like fire extinguishers and maced everyone. And then the next thing I can't see anything. They pull me onto one of the boats. They pulled the guy next to me onto the boat, and they're pouring it in our face, the milk of magnesia in our faces, trying, to calm it. And it's all the way down my neck and chest and shoulders. And there's this man crying next to me, and I'm crying my eyes out. Everybody in this boat is just like in so much pain. And these are such good people. These are people I've had the opportunity to really get to know over the last couple of months. And they're like some of the best people that I've ever met in my entire life. And it's like a real family here. And, you know, we're just holding hands and trying to keep warm in this water that we're trying desperately to protect so they don't build a pipeline that will affect the water of 18 million people. And we're doing everything we can, and they're so close to being finished, and we're sitting in this boat and watching, you know, full-grown adults crying their eyes out. And, you know, the boat gets to the other side in like 1 minute. It's only like 20 feet across, you know, and I can't even see to get out, and I kind of like plop out, and they're yelling at me to get onto the shore, and I can't even open my eyes. So they take us like to this fire, and the medics are there, and everybody's amazing, and it's just chaos. It's just chaos. You can hear all the screaming and the crying, and the people are yelling, and the cops are yelling, and somebody's like taking my clothes off of me and putting me next to this fire, and people are trying to take care of you, and it's like this just overwhelming onslaught of emotions of, you know, there's so much fear and also pain, and then love for the people around you who are just going the extra mile. Like, there are women holding me on each side to try to warm me up. So like, it's so different that on one side of this waterway we have 100 or more men with assault rifles and mace cans, and they're laughing at people and making jokes about this. You know, one of them looked at me and he said like, "Oh, she's been here for a while, you know, we haven't gotten her yet." And it's like, they think this is so funny. They think hurting people is funny. I don't get it. I don't get it. But then on the other side of the water, you have these people trying desperately to take care of each other and holding each other, and like, we're sliding around the mud and we're filthy, and this is like the core of what love looks like in a community. This is the, you know, I don't know how to put it, but this is the epitome of what love looks like in the trenches of freezingness and pain and fear, that people are hugging each other and holding hands while they're shooting into crowds. I don't even really know how to process this right now. I just wanted to tell people what actually happened out there, and I guess I want to convey how amazing the people are here, and how much they're going through, and how much the police are doing to these people. I mean, a lot of people have been maced. A lot of people have been injured badly. And this is all for trying to stop a pipeline. This is what happens to people who stand up to a corporation that wants to get something done. That tells you something about the country that we live in. That if you stand up to a corporation, that corporation can basically hire the police to abuse you and violate all of the rights that you have, and put you in cages and shoot at you and mace you and have sick dogs on you and lock you up for days. And that's what our country is capable of. That's what's happening in our country right now in 2016. That's not happening in a third world country. That's happening right here, and that's terrifying. So next time you watch the videos that you're seeing online, just remember like how real this is for the people who are here And what they're doing is beyond disgusting. They are violating even war laws. They're violating the Geneva Convention. They're arresting medics and journalists. What's happening here is real. Pay attention to the videos that you are seeing. Call anyone you can. Get down here if you can. I don't know. I guess that's all I have today.